When I moved from Germany to Australia, I actually felt quite lonely sometimes. Outside of work, I didn't know anyone, and it really bugged me sometimes that I couldn't see my friends that you used to see just face to face whenever you want. You couldn't see your family, and it just created a bit of a sense of loneliness in me. It wasn't severe, but it's something that is just bothering you in your everyday life. What really helped was I went to a coffee store around the corner, and they started to ask me what I'm doing here. They knew my name the second day, and I'm pretty sure they didn't realize it, but it really helped me to cope with the situation and give me a sense of belonging.
When people talk about loneliness, you often think about an empty space, a void where there's nobody around you. But I've learned that this sense of emptiness can be felt even when you are surrounded by a million others. This feeling has surfaced in my professional life as a woman of color in a male-dominant field like IT. There's been numerous times that I have felt unseen, unheard, and lonely in my professional world.
When I had my first child, I wasn't prepared for how isolating and lonely I would feel. I was going through this emotional roller coaster. I was tired, I was overwhelmed, and I felt like I had no one to talk to. A lot of my friends at the time were single, they didn't have kids, and to be honest, being a first-time mother, I didn't feel comfortable taking my baby out in public. So I found myself being really isolated in my own home with no one to speak to. What really changed for me was reaching out to a mother's group. They were people that I could relate to. We could chat at any time of the night because, let's be fair, when you have children, you're up all night. And it really created a community where I could connect.
When we started our research, I began to talk with colleagues and friends about loneliness. And what really struck me was everyone had a story.
Everyone can relate.
Loneliness has many faces.
We realized quickly loneliness isn't rare, and it doesn't need to be extreme to have an impact. The difference is some people have the chance to cope, but many don't. Some have declining health, some live in rural areas and don't have the opportunities, as in our examples, to cope with their situation. This is how we knew we had to act and thought about how can we address loneliness differently. We know that small and casual interactions can help people to actually cope with their loneliness. But digitalization is taking a lot of those chances away. So we were thinking, can we really rely on the chance that people interact with each other every day? We ask ourselves, how can technologies actually help us to connect?
We partnered with Anglicare Southern Queensland, and what we wanted to explore was to look at how intelligent technologies could actually help and detect loneliness in their clientele base. And within their call centers, what they were telling us were that individuals were calling and they had these subtle signs of loneliness. They would call, they would tell some jokes, they would share personal stories, and a lot of the conversations were actually not related to the services at all. Our research found that those that took those calls seriously were able to respond and adapt to those calls more effectively. Clients also felt more cared for, and the organization became more resilient.
So what we've learned is simple but powerful. Loneliness is not a personal issue, it's a social one. And digitization is reshaping how it takes place, and organizations can no longer ignore it. And this is where leadership matters. C-suite leaders need to recognize that the choices they make have real consequences, not just for efficiency and profit making, but it's also how people feel connected or left behind. Responsibility today is not just about technology adoption, it's understanding the social impacts that it can create. Our project shows that this isn't only necessary, it's also the smart thing to do. Addressing loneliness connects people, builds a healthier workforce, and helps businesses be more resilient.
Because at the end, technologies are not only about business outcomes. Technologies shape our society, our communities, and us individually. But to use technologies for the better, we need to design them for the good, with intention, with care, and with evidence.